VIP. Stretching early morning, this hard work isn't foreign. Natties and scholarships, ain't nothing else important. Passion to be the best, dance I'm menage on the wrist. Passe, stay high and tight, Miss T, don't play that mess up. Gotta prove your worth in class to be center stage. I put in time on these fortes, and I'm minute-made. Stay on point in every style, let me demonstrate. Second to none, and I put that on the quasi. I gotta give it my all. I wanna be responsible for one of the plaques on the wall. One trophy ain't enough, need my name engraved on the mall. Nothing's out of my reach. Miss T lace me with this pour the bra. Strong core on point, but I never fall. Shall say to the phone whenever destiny calls. Cause I wanna be the GOAT. So whether they on stage or in class, the mission's no look. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming them for Mars. So at minimum, we landing on the stars. Yesterday's limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming up for Mars. So at minimum, we landed on the stars. Yesterday's limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. Dream is a dream, work the hamstring. Solo at national, my team can trust me. Every day, trying to level up the repertoire. So every class, you know that we gotta raise the bar.
Let's get two of them, because once we get on the wheels, alright, we can move both of them at once. I don't know. Yeah, I got rolling on too. What is this? Is it two pieces or one? One. Is there a rack? There is. You want me to pull it out?
I have a feeling you've moved before.
Man, look, I done did this so many times now. Let's just walk this one in the door sideways.
Welcome back to the Rap Show. We are joined by the dance dads and their lovely wives. We have Mike and Michelle Watts over here. And then we have Ron and Kiana on this side, the Coleman family. So let's just get right into it, dance dads. I want to know, apparently there is some sort of a group chat that y'all have going on, and we want to know what's going on with the group chat. I guess I want to hear the dad's perspective and the mom's perspective. What do y'all think about the group chat?
No, the group chat, we just try to coordinate, you know, who's available to help out when and where, make sure that as best we can, we support the moms, the daughters, Tamara, and all of the other folks that help out around here. So happy to help. Coordinating is always interesting and fun, and it's a good time overall. Okay,
so basically how you guys kind of keep things going and organized. Y'all just stay in the group chat together. Well, moms, what do y'all think about the group chat? Y'all try to get in the group chat? See what's going on with the group chat?
Not at all. That's his thing. I have my own. So.
Okay.
No.
It's just interesting hearing about like trying to coordinate and get everybody on board. You know, some the semi-emergencies before the show goes on. We don't have enough helpers, so it's always interesting.
Okay. Ron's the executive coordinator of the group chat. Then of course we have our side group chats.
Oh.
So between the initial asks that are broad, that have a lot of people, and the occasional.
Me and Mike, you know, we kind of like, all right, we're gonna be able to pull this off, or?
And we're kind of betting on the occasional, please remove me from this group chat.
Yes.
Who is this popping up? But we have fun with it.
Yeah, no, we do. We have fun with it, and I think that's what makes it work, is you gotta have fun with it. You know, it is work, but you know, for the girls, anything.
Okay. Speaking of work, it is definitely a lot of hard work that you dads do, dads and moms, but the dads that y'all do around here with like the props. Tamara says that she asked you guys to build them like really heavy. What's the reasoning behind that?
To keep it sturdy.
Keep it sturdy.
Have these kids running up and down flights of stairs, and for the props to stay still while they're dancing on top of them.
Yes. Okay.
It better be heavy.
That's it. No
now, have y'all ever had like an incident where something wasn't? Maybe you were missing a piece, or you forgot something, or?
Yeah, just this past competition season,
the
stairs, we had a stair step that actually came off mid-performance. Superman over here rushed into the rescue and, you know, put the stair back. Nobody even noticed he was in and out the frame, and, you know, they pulled it off, did very well. And, you know, that's part of the dance dad duties is, you know, be there for planned and unplanned.
Planned and unplanned, great. Speaking of planning, I wanted to ask y'all, how important is it to have the dance dads and to be a dance dad for your daughters?
I love it. I mean, you know, I have a younger brother. I've never, you know, dealt with young girls before, and so for me, it's cool to see them out there doing their thing, confident, and I see the work they put in between, before, after. So it's fun. Like I said, it's work, but you know, it's fun to see them, and I hope they see that, you know, that's my way of kind of supporting them in what they like to do.
Yeah. Now, do you think being a dance dad gives you like a different perspective into just how hard the dance world can be and how much work the girls are putting in? I think a lot of fathers kind of focus more on like, you know, the other sports, like the football and all that, and they may not understand or realize how much work goes into this.
No, I'd agree with that. I was the same way. Like I said, you know, like I didn't have a sister growing up, so to see them doing their laps and come home, my body hurts here and there, and you know, to see the effort that they put into it, they definitely work, and they work hard. So I respect it, and it's very cool to see the end result.
Yeah,
It's a gift to have that unique perspective, to see them backstage and to see them getting ready, to see those nerves, and just to see, you know, how much goes into a number for them to, you know, run off stage, run back on stage, the timing behind it, the wardrobe changes. So it's cool to see, you know, them doing something that I could never get on stage and do.
Okay, awesome. Now, do you think that you guys could use some help from other dads? Like maybe this is your time to plead to them and tell them like, hey, we need a little more help. Maybe we can get a recruitment going here today.
We need dads step up for the most part. But we always need more hands.
Always need more hands. I think that, you know, when it comes right down to it, dads definitely do step up. But, you know, the more help, the better. It always makes the work lighter, and you know, it's always appreciated, I think, by the dads that are always there, the dads that are occasionally there, the kids, the moms, the staff. So come on down.
All right, and then I wanted to ask you guys, why is it important to be a dance dad? Like, what motivates you to do this?
I'm a little selfish. I think it's for my own personal memories. I mean, because it's fun. You know, it's a gift to be able to participate in this, and it's just, you know, special to see our children on stage, you know, pursuing their dreams, and it's just fun having the friendships, building the friendships between the dads.
Yeah. Now, do y'all hang out outside of being dance dads? Like, do y'all get together and like do things?
Right. This is enough. Right. I mean, our schedules are pretty much full.
Okay. So y'all are always here, so there's no time to do it. Okay.
Here, so we're
Gotcha.
But me and Mike, we chop it up like on a regular basis, and you know, we have a good time. And it's one of those, you know, like you get together when you can, but you know, when you're working, you're trying to, you know, raise families. It's a busy life, and so, you know, I think like with guys especially, is, you know, you get together when you can, but it's always, you know, when you do get together, it's you catch up real quick, and then it's, you know, you right to it. It's like you ain't missed a beat.
Okay. All right. And then I wanted to ask everyone here, what were y'all's favorite dances of the season?
Mine was
Cinderante? Yeah, that was good.
Cinderante too. Just again, seeing that backstage and seeing that full production and everything that goes into it is, it's mind blowing, really.
Yeah.
Mine was
And the vibe to it too.
Yeah.
It's just-
Heat as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked Heat and
Cinderance.
Me Too.
Okay. And then what made Heat, I guess, your favorite ones?
It was so many of them on the stage, and you can kind of see what was going on very clearly, you know, all at one time. So I think having most of the dancers on stage at one time, you just saw how much work they put into it, how clean it was.
Yeah.
And it was visually appealing, like with the costumes and like it just went with the music.
Okay.
And
So overall, it was just, in your opinion, the best. Okay. So I wanted to ask the dads, which props gave y'all the most trouble this season? Was it the stair that
all of Cinderance?
malfunctioned?
I mean, it depends on the production piece. I mean, we've had challenges with.
Yeah, we've had challenges with everything. I feel like it's more the getting everything on the truck and off the truck, because, you know, it's a little bit of Jenga involved. And then after the timing. And then, you know, depending on the venue. I mean, rolling Cinderance props over carpet ain't easy. like that's heavy props, but we always seem to pull it off though.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask y'all, what is it like interacting with like the other dance dads when you go to competitions? Is there ever any kind of, I don't want to say beef, but what is it like?
For the most part, for me, it's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like at our last local competition, just backstage, just initiating the conversation and just complimenting them on, like sincerely on some of the dances that we saw, and then they're just like, "Oh man, cool." And
So it's like a very positive
it's
experience
very positive.
overall. That's good. Okay. Yeah.
No, it's very supportive. You're kind of, dads are kind of comparing what you see from other groups to what your girls is doing. And, when our girls aren't performing and we're not needed, we kind of just sitting back and it's just you chopping it up. And it's good times.
That's good. I'm glad it's not, because I was wondering, is there any like competitiveness or anything with nothing like that? Just
I hate it
good
when I
vibes.
see props with the LED lights and fans and all the accessories that I know that I can never personally do. So I just kind of avoid those dance dads, see those fancy props. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I've asked you guys what was your favorite dance. What were some of your, I guess, least? I'm sure you probably liked them all, but what was your least favorite if you had to pick one?
I like them all this year. They had some really good dances this year. Super creative.
Okay.
Yeah, just you could tell they're going up a level each year. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I had a least favorite.
I respect all the work. I mean, it's to see the coordination and the camaraderie of the girls. You can tell they're enjoying themselves. So I can't say there is one.
So we're all in on every dance.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to add? Like any other moments that stood out to you guys? Maybe anything you want to see next season you'd like to happen as far as on your end of things?
Really?
More dads.
More dads. Yes, more dads.
More dads. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back with more members of the cast. Welcome back to the StudioTypes Rap Show. I'm here with the Dance Moms. Hey, how are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Good. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
I am Felicia Evans.
I'm Cheryl Griffin.
Cherie Lewis. And I'm Memory Betsy Glasgow.
All right. Now, and they're ready to go. They're pumped up. So I'm going to start with you, Miss Felicia. I wanted to ask you, this season was Talia's senior year for this season. What was it like going through just such a big milestone from a mom's perspective and going through it on camera?
Talia's senior year was stressful as a mom. I think she really enjoyed it as a senior and dancer. But for me, it was stressful. I think just knowing that this was it, this was the final. I always asked her, well, how do you feel? It's like, oh, I don't feel anything yet. But for me, it was like, okay, this is my baby's final. This is the final of everything. The last showcase, the last company show, the last competition. Yeah. So, but overall, I mean, she had a great year. She had a phenomenal year. So,
yeah. Do you think she was just trying to maybe not like make you get emotional by not telling you if she felt some kind of, I don't know. Did she? Do you
Talia don't care about
she just is not.
Nope. I think for her, it was just going into her senior year, being intentional about making it a good year and not letting anything, get in the way of her having a great finale. Don't finish it out. So, but she don't care about none of that else.
All right. Okay, I wanted to ask you, Memory, what was it like this season? You guys were reunited. What was it like to have what was it like what was it like to have your bestie back? And you can answer too from the other perspective, from your perspective.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
What was it like without her?
Terrible.
Can we chime in on that too?
The worst.
No,
go ahead.
Well, when we first saw them separate, it was hard to see Memory lose her right arm, left arm, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you could see the how hard it was for them to separate. and how memory went through just that year. Don't be. It was true. I'm not trying to.
Because we ain't have lies and butt. You know what I'm saying? Because you was on the phone, like.
Because but we kept in touch with Cherie because you could feel just how hard it was, and then when Cherie would even pop in just for those brief moments, you could just see like, well, we all miss Cherie. Let's just be clear. But you could just see how memory felt just having Cherie in for that brief little time.
Like we're gonna have to put in
memory wasn't the same.
You know, the sick and shut in because she was through. She was through. Remember? Memory was through.
Listen, I mean, my personality in general, you know, I'm like when I like you, I love you. You know what I mean? And so being as close with Cherie outside of dance, prior to dance, like, so it was like we learned this whole dance mom life together. All the conversations, just crazy. So,
trying to figure out the emails.
And
what we're supposed to do, what we need, what are jazz
She was
shoes.
low seat.
And so when she left, you know, I was close with the studio, right? But I was closer to Cherie. So when she left, it was like, y'all gotta take me in. I don't have any, you know, I mean, you know, my daughter has friends and I became friends with the other moms, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same. So the studio took me in. They took me in. And when Cherie came back, it was just amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk about was it seems like y'all have a lot of support for each other. All of the women, you know, the men as well, but mainly it's a mostly female-oriented company here. How do y'all stay so supportive of each other and not have, you know, I don't know if you don't have any drama, but if you do, it doesn't get to the point where it's spilling over. How do you manage that?
I'm gonna let HR handle it.
The enforcers, they handle business. Like you know where you know, like you know the rules. Like as a dance mom, they explain, okay, this is where you need to be. This is where your babies will be and they will be taken care of.
Yeah.
So, you know, it takes a lot of, I guess, the drama out of it because the studio makes a parent feel comfortable leaving their child. So I know with myself, because I used to hover and then it'd be like, Cherie, just go. And then I got comfortable. Like, I'm like, it's like they're at home. So I think that helps a lot with the openness and the comfortable, parents being comfortable, and it kind of eliminates the drama.
Yeah, okay. And I wanted to ask you too, what does it take to be a successful dance mom? What should a person possess, or what skills do you need to have to make it as a dance mom?
I think, first of all, you have got to trust the place that you're in. You have got to believe in the training and the place that you put your child, first of all. And once you believe that that studio has that for your dancer or your child in the program that they're in, the rest of it kind of goes with it. You cannot hover because either they're going to make it in that studio, you just got to let them grow and breathe in it. But once you believe in it, then kind of the rest of it kind of goes, and trust that we're going to do it for you. And I think trust is the biggest factor. Trust is the biggest factor of the whole program. Once you trust them, it goes like we would have a parent. I'm like, you gotta let go. You gotta let go because they can't grow if you don't let go.
That's true.
That's the biggest part of it. So once that happens, it's kind of like easier for the child and the parent.
I would say too, being able to adjust and adapt and accept quick changes. Some things we can prevent, some things we can't prevent, and just being able to adapt to what's going on. And just to piggyback off Cheryl, and just being able to trust the program. Trust the program and trust the process and be compliant.
Compliant and trust, okay.
Communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate. Talk to us. Ask us questions. There's nothing we're not benefiting from it.
Yeah.
Like just being transparent and ask the questions, because our goal is to make sure your dancer is successful in the whole process, and that they're growing, because we're just trying to get them to where they want to be in the whole process.
Okay. Now, have y'all ever dealt with a dance mom who just was not compliant, was not good at communicating, and
She said, like it was
like the ones who want to like really be involved? Have you ever had somebody who wanted to really just help out and be more hands-on
Helicopter?
Yes. But she just didn't. She didn't get the memo. You know.
Yes.
How do you handle that?
Very gently.
Yeah.
Very gently.
She's very gentle.
Yeah.
No, we just have conversation, and while we're having conversation, we've actually moved the dancer to where we've got them to go. And before they know, before they have actually seen it,
It's
the
already-
mom is where they are, the dancer's where they are, and everybody's happy.
Good. Yeah.
So it's just conversation, and they've actually seen and trusted. Before you know it, the year has gone, and they've actually seen the process work. We're like, God, you were right.
Yeah.
And I think as a mom, or as a parent in general, you always want to see the best.
Yeah.
You want to make sure your kid is taken care of. And I think sometimes our moms and dads forget it's not just about your kid.
Yeah.
You know, it's about everybody. It's about the entire team.
Yeah.
You know, to make everybody is great. Everybody want to be supported. So
Yeah.
and I think a lot of times the moms want to be in the midst just to take care of their kid and not to take care of everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the kid would tell them, "You can go." To a point where the child like, "You can go."
Yeah.
And then that just reinforces
Yeah.
what we've been trying to say. So sometimes the kid will do it for us, and we don't have to do
Yeah.
Like even the little bitty ones.
It starts off with them.
Okay. And then I was going to ask you, what were your favorite behind the scene moments this season? I'll start with Memory.
I think my favorite behind the scenes moment, I think, was probably getting ready for Cinderante for the first time.
Okay.
For the first time, because it was the first time. It was fresh. It was new. Our nerves were all crazy. We was, acting a fool behind the scenes just to like get the jitters out, not knowing what to expect. The energy was high. So I think, just experiencing that with everybody for the first time. Like, oh, that dress, baby, that dress.
Yeah.
That changes the gloves, the slippers, the
pins, and
the hairpiece, the
zip ties, and glue, scissors. Oh,
How many wardrobe items are y'all working with at any given time? Is it like thousands of pieces of just? How do you keep it all organized when you're backstage?
silver bag.
So we had minis, petites, and juniors in one bag. And then preteen was a bigger company, so they're in another bag. And then tween and up, they have their own suitcases.
So they have their own costumes.
Yeah, so we pack the suitcases for the tween and up, and then we pack all of the other companies in their suitcases. And then we had accessory bins with all the hairpins. So we're actually very organized.
Yeah.
So,
I love that costume.
So we knew pretty much where everything was. If we needed it, we probably had
somebody
that
had
answer.
it.
Yeah.
It was in somebody's book bag.
Okay.
It was in the bag that we carried. It was in somebody's
somewhere.
purse. It was in your fanny pack.
Look, I was about to say, I love the
Okay.
Memory and Cherie are so organized.
Yeah.
They had little fanny packs for themselves.
Yeah, so
we could
Mel
go to
surprised
somebody
us
and make
with
little
those fanny packs.
Yeah.
and look like
Okay.
they were really organized.
Yeah, you have to be.
Hair ties.
Q-tips to reapply
lipstick,
the floss.
yeah. So everybody on the costume committee, she made one, and Tamara, and we had all the supplies in
Okay.
it. So
Yeah.
we had
Little
quick
stuff.
changes. We just pulled it out.
Pins.
and-
So we could
Okay.
go to them and say, "Do you have this?" So I knew some people had special little things
Yeah.
that I could like, listen, I need this,
Okay.
this.
Yep.
If I was just in the back trying
Yeah.
to help out. And listen, one of the team moms over each company would have something in their fanny pack
Oh,
to
wow.
help out.
Okay.
Yes, they're
I think that
so
would be
organized. They
my
were
favorite
really
behind the
good.
scenes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I like behind the scene backstage, just like just
Yes.
knowing that even with the hair changes, like they were right there. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you need a twisty, you need a scrunchie, you need a hairpin,
they had it in that fanny pack.
Prepared. Okay.
Yes.
Somebody had it. We
So
had
one
somebody
person had
scissors.
Right, one person had scissors.
One person carried the scissors
Yeah.
all the time.
and we knew, so we needed scissors.
Yeah,
We knew who had it.
Yeah. We'll be like, scissors, and she'll be like, here they are.
So, like, when it's time to leave, what kind of system do y'all use to make sure everyone has everything? Is it like you have like a list you go down, or
For
to
the
make
things
sure?
that we're responsible
Well, yeah, to make
for,
sure you don't leave anything behind at competitions and whatnot.
Well, the dancers that have their suitcases, they're old enough to understand what they're supposed to have. We reiterate to them to collect their belongings.
Okay. Do they ever leave anything behind?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All the time.
All the time. There's always a lost and found.
Okay.
Yeah. But as far as the items that we're responsible to carry to and from the studio, it's a rolling process. So most of the time when a company is finished for the competition, we're packing those items up as they come in. So it's not the end of competition and it's just an overflow of work.
Okay.
They run a tight ship.
Yeah,
So-
they do a dance. We give out the costume. They finish the dance. We take the costume. Like there's no limbo where it's on the floor. Where it's, no.
They run a tight
We
ship.
give you one, we take one. We give you one, we take one.
Where's
So
your hairpiece?
Yeah.
Okay. So the girls, they all just see y'all as like everyone's mom. When you're back there, just, you know, it's really, they're really close to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
All right.
auntie, not
Auntie.
auntie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
All right.
get auntie vibes.
Yeah.
I'm starting to.
Aw. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, you've been a part of 777. Both of y'all have for a long time, but specifically Miss Sherilyn, how does it feel and how does it being a part of it for so long? And what makes you motivated or keeps you wanting to be a part of 777?
I enjoy seeing, I can't believe so many little ones keep coming through and they keep getting stronger.
Yeah.
And the younger they get, the quicker they get, and the stronger they become. And it just keeps turning and turning. It's crazy to see these little bodies come through. And the younger they are, they reach milestones quicker than the ones that are here get to.
Okay.
I'm like, this is insane. So I just, number one, I'm a lover of the art.
Yeah.
First of all. And I'm invested in it a little bit right now for personal reasons. But I just love it quite a bit. And I just enjoy seeing how quickly these little kids and these little bodies come through, how strong they are so quickly and how they grab it so quickly, where 20 years ago, these kids weren't this strong. 20 years ago, what they are doing now at that age is unbelievable. It's so beautiful to see these young bodies grow and do it so fast and so quickly. Just to see how they grow and how they are. It's a feeling that you just can't explain. So I enjoy seeing that.
Okay, so Cherie, there was a time during the segment where your dancer maybe didn't perform or didn't score as well. So can you and maybe some of the other moms tell me about when that happens? Like, how do you feel? How do you handle that? When they don't do as well as what you would expect.
Okay. So I don't talk to her. I don't, like, you know, you normally know how they're gonna react to certain scores. So I don't talk to her at all. Like, I let her process her feelings. She'll talk to Taylor, she'll talk to Tamara, she'll talk to her dance friends, and then eventually she'll come talk to me, but I don't approach her. Even when I know in my heart she did really, really well, I don't say anything because I'm like, Landon, you did so good. And she'd be like, you know, and keep walking and see that causes problems. So I've learned to give her space.
Except for one competition.
I think that was the competition that made me stop.
No,
probably.
Go.
We didn't talk to them. That was just us.
But you were saying it around, and they like.
But
they were heated. They were
Tamara handled their feelings.
No, but they like when they walk around and you were just random. Gold.
Okay, well that wasn't even about the dancers.
Yeah.
That was about the
I
announcer.
know, but in there, first of all, with our dancers,
Yes.
Yeah.
regardless if it was scored correctly or not, gold is not what they're not trying to hear nothing about it. So even if they knew they didn't perform well, they still don't want gold.
Correct.
And so,
Correct.
and it wasn't. I mean, remember they weren't saying that their dancers danced gold, but it was just.
It was the announcer.
It was right.
We were so shocked.
If you know Landon and Bella, it was like they were sad, and I could see Bella and Landon
side eye. Yeah.
Like it was just, it was like they put their throw on, and they'll just walk like if they don't shut up. Like,
But okay, in our defense, no, I'm serious. In our defense, I think we believed that they both did extremely well.
So it shocked us.
So you were
I
shocked,
think
yes.
that was like part of our reaction was more so like, I can't believe this competition they gave my baby gold. So it became,
a running joke.
a running joke, coping mechanism. You know, just like just a way to laugh at.
But they weren't trying it.
They wasn't. I guess not. I mean, hindsight.
But we still didn't talk to them. Like we didn't. We let Tamara and Taylor handle their feelings after their awards, whether it's good, bad, in between. We stay clear until they come to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a learned lesson.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised they even stood up to collect the award.
Yeah.
But but that's
Because they was like this.
Who me? Oh.
Oh no! And then so they called Bella first. She was like, and then when they called Landon was like.
That was definitely her
Well,
face.
let me get up.
Yes,
I think they were in shock.
Yeah. So shock is a general theme of how everybody was feeling. Okay. Well, speaking of shocked, I have a little footage of Cherie. We're gonna roll it and let them see it. A little blooper.
You better do right by us until you do right by us.
No, I thought they were gonna get you dancing. When you
That's what I thought.
There could be more, but no, I don't have more. But so what? Like, can you explain to the people at home who just saw that what was going on there?
Okay.
What led up to that?
The elite dance, "I Am Here," is to
That song from Color Purple.
Color Purple. Okay. And so like they do this. Well, they say this, but we're like,
no. Talia.
Yeah, she does the right
Talia
fingers.
Look right in the judges.
Yeah, so we're always like, these judges better do right by us. Like, so after they just tore the stage up with "I Am Here," we were like, Tamara, they better do right by us because, like, we know we deserve it. Like, but it's just so frustrating when we know that. This group before us, this group after us, there's no way they could beat that. And so it's like, these judges better get it right.
Yeah. Until you do right by me.
Yeah, so that's what I can do right by me. Yeah,
okay. So. Well, we don't have any more bloopers of them, unfortunately, right now. Yet. But we're going to... Hey, you never know. We could pull something up. But we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to you guys. And we have much more coming up in the next segment. So stay tuned for the next dancers. All right, we are back with some of the famous 777 alumni. Can you guys introduce yourselves? We'll start over here.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Jaden. I'm Taylor.
Miss Tamika.
Casey.
All right. Okay, welcome back, ladies. I hope everyone's doing okay. Okay, Jaden, I'm going to start with you. You said before that you didn't like to film StudioTypes when you were a dancer, but you like it now. What's the difference between then and now?
I have no idea. I'm sorry. I think since we were just starting, And so, no, they didn't really understand what it was.
Yeah.
And also, we make a lot of jokes.
Okay.
So the jokes were just not it for the show.
Yeah.
But I'm great, yeah.
Okay. Chloe, from your point of view, being a lead in season 1 on StudioTypes, and now you're a teacher. That's amazing. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that we didn't get to see from you this season? Like maybe as a staff member and students, or rehearsal director. Just what are some of those things we didn't see?
Some things you didn't really get to see was like my thought process of trying to like prepare myself for dancing.
Okay.
But like now that I'm a teacher, I get to help the girls and the dancers prepare themselves to get on stage.
Okay.
And I didn't have to feel that stress myself.
Yeah.
Because they got that part.
Okay. So would you say it's maybe less stressful just as a teacher this time around?
No,
or maybe it's
more stressful.
double the stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because before I used to just have to worry about myself and like my team that I was dancing with. But being a teacher, I have to worry about the kids and like all of them, like the whole company themselves, and like I couldn't just think about myself and what I had going on.
You wouldn't imagine that it's harder to like pick out an outfit as a teacher to go to competition.
I'm like, do I have to look professional at the same time?
I think like when you're a dancer, you're like, nobody else is doing anything. Like I'm doing the work, Otis. Like, and then you get on the other side and you're like, wait, everything I ever thought, I'm so sorry.
It's not funny no more. It's no longer funny.
Okay. All right, then Tamika, I wanted to ask you, as a former 777 dancer, and you have your son Joshua here, how did your experience being here as a dancer, how does it prepare you as his mom to maybe advise him or just support him?
With my experience dancing with company and competitions, I just, whatever mistakes I may have made, I tell him not to make those mistakes. And whatever experiences I had with people, I tell him all about it. And that way, if he ever experiences those moments, he knows how to, react in them.
Does he listen to you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are busy like year round, right? As a college student, what is it like to have this responsibility, but then you also have your classes and whatnot as well?
Trying to be a teacher and go to college, it was hard.
Yeah.
Because like there's parties that are happening on the weekend, but you have to be here at the studio to help teach.
Yeah.
So I had to like balance everything out and trying to get my homework done, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
Being a dancer, a former dancer, we made lots of sacrifices. But also you gotta make sacrifices as a teacher too. But I mean, I like it. I don't know. It's very disciplined, very balanced. So I don't mind.
Okay. And then what are some of the lessons that that you all have learned from 777 that have just like you've carried with you throughout your life? Tamika?
Lessons I've learned, you're not always going to get the part.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah. You're not always going to make it. And that's just in life. Like interviews anywhere or, whatever you're trying to do. You might not always make it, but you shouldn't give up if it's something that you really want to do. You're passionate about it.
Yeah, I would say that, and everybody's not gonna like you.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, as a dancer, you give your best, and you are putting your passion into something, and it's just like, it might not read well with somebody else, and then somebody else loves it, but that's the same thing, like, for you as a person, like, who you are as a person might not translate or sizzle spirits with everybody, but it is what it is.
I think just as an alumni, watching the studio grow and seeing like, what's the word? Not growing, but like evolving. Yeah, how the kids are evolving as dancers from where everything started. Well, I don't know where everything started, but I know like as far as watching wise, like where everything started is pretty cool. And I think we just alumni at 777 make it clear to the students that come on from years on and years on that they remember who the original 7 were and
the half.
Okay. But who the original 7 and a half were, and just you will never forget the history of 777 because we're always in the building.
And then being there that's helped them like give them advice for what to do during competition and like, throughout the season, like how to help them.
We're definitely an alumni ran studio for the most part. It's really rare that our teachers aren't people that have either like come through 777 at one point in time or have came through at least Tamara at one point in time. So we're definitely like a family ran business.
And I think that says a lot for you all and just the work ethic and just the environment that people go through the program and want to come back. So that's always a good thing. All right, guys, stay tuned. We have another great segment with more guests coming up for you in just a second. And we are back with our next round of guests, you guys. It's a pretty big crew right now, so I'll let everybody introduce themselves.
My name is Christian.
My name is Bella. Taylor Rose.
My name is Camille. I'm Landon.
My name is Joshua.
My name is Sydney. I'm Taryn. Hi, I'm Bobby. Hi, I'm Showa. Hi, I'm Erin.
Hi, I'm Miss Tamara.
All right, let's get right to it. Okay, I wanted to ask you, there was, we talked earlier about people getting sick, there was COVID, there was flu, there was all these things going around at one time pretty much, right before like a very important time. How did you guys handle that? And like, what does it say about you guys that you can have that happen and then bounce back like as quickly as you did?
With all the trials and tribulations, I would say we were able to, as dancers, I said the dancers first, to adjust, which means it showed that they paid attention in rehearsal on where they should be. That's one. And then as choreographers, we were able to just make the transitions easier, more so than a hard transition for the kids. So just shifting to the right or shifting to the left is necessary, and then having a sound mind in the room that will keep everyone focused and let them know that they're doing a great job and they can definitely make those changes without a problem. So it was a hard thing to do, but I believe we did it with grace this season.
Yeah, okay. And from a dancer's perspective, does anybody, Josh, want to answer just how you felt as a dancer going through all that?
Okay, so how I felt about this is I just felt like changing around, like changing spots and like blocking and all of that. It's just like we've been through it like in class, like where teachers tell us to go to this spot and go to this spot. It's just like a dancer's mind, like where it makes sense. So it really wasn't like any like hard math to it. It was just like we get it from our like instructors how we arrange spots and stuff. Yeah. So it was pretty just like chill.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in on what it felt like from a dancer's perspective?
Bella and Christian were our subs this season for Elite Company, and it's a different story from watching Elite do a dance to then being in an Elite dance. So I think they can speak measures to what it means to be, and like now you're in an Elite dance. Oh my gosh, it's not the same as watching it.
Yeah, when we started to fill in for Elite members, it was a huge step. Definitely, from just watching them to like, oh shoot, I'm actually have to be in this dance and dance with them. It's a whole different atmosphere. They take all their practice seriously. They take all their dances serious, and just filling in for them, it was a huge learning experience of what it takes to be an elite dancer.
I definitely give my props to all the elite members because those dances were not easy dances to do and learn, but being able to step in for them and having them help me get the choreo down was like, it was pretty smooth.
Sorry, excuse me. Sit down. Ma'am, we're not talking about you.
That doesn't mean that you have to walk away.
Stay.
Her attitude's horrible.
Oh. You should do it behind the scenes with Willow. Like,
Willow
get her opinion, her perspective.
She's, yeah. Good luck.
Okay, so Cinderance, that was amazing. So Cinderance, what was it like getting ready for that as a dancer?
As a dancer getting ready for Cinderance, I would say it was more like the role, what kind of like role you had to play. Like, cause I was the prince's understudy, something like that. So I will always like tell the prince. So it was just getting into that mindset of you have to play a certain character when it comes to executing this type of dance.
Yeah. What was it like for you guys? Because this was the first year that you didn't do the Wiz, right? So it was.
Right. So Cinerante originally is a piece that we gotten from Todrick Hall. He did Cinerante. The actual music is his music. So we watched it on YouTube, and then we executed it as a cast, as a company, when Rosie and Ezra were dancers. And Rosie was the evil stepmother?
Stepsister.
You were the stepsister, and Ezra was Prince Charming. So then every year, dancers are asking me, do we have to do the Wiz? You know, and I'm like, well, you come up with something. Actually, then they don't come with anything. And so Rosie and I was sitting together in Vegas this summer, and we knew that Cinerante was coming back as a competition piece. So then we put it together as an actual Cinderella, the story of Cinderella. Okay. So we bought the rights to use the rights of the Cinderella story and then implemented it. Okay. I loved it because it was only one show, one day, and the next day was one show, one day.
Okay. Can we expect more Cinderante?
Yeah,
next season.
We're doing Cinderante again next season for sure. I think we did a disservice. We didn't do it as well as we could have. So I'm excited to do more with Cinderante this season. Okay.
And why do you think that you did a disservice to it? What could you have done better or done differently?
We could have added more music. Could have been involved. I was just proud that we were able to include every dancer in the studio. Yeah. So that was half the battle.
Opening night, the lights. How did you feel when that happened? That was insane.
Actually, the lights that went out were. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep Willow together. The lights that went out was on our second night, and it was our last show, which means that the parents that felt like, I'm not coming to the first show, I'm gonna come to the last show. Sold out crowd, and it was 5 minutes before lights to go dark, and the entire building goes dark. And I'm thinking, as a producer, as the director, we don't have time to do this show again. Another week. I mean, the Wiz, we were snowed out 1 year, so we had to push it to another week. And now this happening, it just the drama of it all. I just wasn't ready for it. So I sat down. My staff went kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I just wanted to stay calm and pray.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that because it was really sweet to watch that moment when you were backstage with your mom and you were just trying to like cheer her up and calm her down, and it was really endearing. So what is it like, and how do you know when to be there as a 777 staff member versus when to be there for your mom as her daughter?
I don't think through the years we've been working on like separating our relationships between all of the things that we do, because she's also my manager as well. So she's my manager, my mom, and my boss. So I think it just speaks to like who I've always been as a person, and even like as a kid I was like that. Like if I see that she's stressed out, I'm like, don't be stressed. And then now my dog does it too. So it's like I don't know. It's really like just a moment of, instead of everybody being like, oh no, Tamara, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, Tamara? I'm just like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. She's like, Taylor, get out of my face. So,
yeah, I think that I think people don't understand the dynamic of it all. It's hard to work with your child or family members, like, in anything that you do. Yeah. So it teaches you patience. It teaches you about yourself. You learn, and hopefully this will be her legacy that I hand over to her. And then she has a daughter to hand over to as well.
Yeah. Well, speaking of legacies, y'all are going to be leaving behind a great one with all of the competition winning that you do here. So for some of the other dancers who I haven't really got to ask which competition that they liked the best, which one was your favorite?
I think my favorite competition had to be League of Champions, because it was a new competition, and at the same time we had everybody in Elite there for the first time. And it was just like fulfilling. Yeah. And I think we won. Did we? Yeah, we won.
Yes, we won everything.
And it was just like, okay, we did that, down pat, cool.
Okay. And which one, who wants to tell me their least favorite competition? Maybe Landon, yeah.
My least favorite competition this year was precision because
Gold. That's fine.
the score was so weird.
The scoring was weird. Their solos got gold, but then their trio, Bella, Landon, and Camille's trio won.
Platinum.
They got platinum. So like individually, they received gold, but together they received platinum.
Like, okay.
It was like,
and it was a high platinum score. It wasn't a low platinum.
Yeah, they won in their division.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was weird.
So is there ever a time where like you get scores back and you think something's just like not right about this? Do you go to the judges or is that a no-no?
You don't go to the judges, but we met a judge in Showstopper. Our Showstopper competitor was our car nationals judge.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the studios.
One of the studios that we went against in our Showstopper.
They judged you, the next one.
Judged us previously at CAR. So she knew that she knew all our numbers already.
Yeah.
And she knew all our dances and she knew how we will score. So she was our competitor at Showstopper.
How does that happen? Like they don't have anything in place to sort of.
Well, Showstopper and CAR are two different
competitions.
So CAR is like a competition studio. So like they're like, we like to embrace real studio owners instead of like industry dancers. They want to embrace like, because it's studio owners that are bringing their kids and choreographing these competition numbers. So they feel like the studio owners and the choreographers that are winning at the competition should be the choreographers and the studio owners judging other studios.
I still agree. I just don't think she should have been on the Southeast region. So like for me, if CAR asked me to judge, I would not judge a nationals on the Southeast region. I would judge a nationals on the West Coast. I would judge a nationals in the Midwest because my company is not touching those states. We're never going to see each other. So I do think that it wasn't fair. However, we still beat her. So, in all, it was still like, hey boo, we're still winning. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that is it for this segment, but stick around because we have another interview coming up with the elite and premier dancers, so stick around. Welcome back. We have the elite and premier company dancers with us right now, and Chloe. All right, the first thing I want to ask y'all about was what's the tea? I mean, not like what's the tea, but like what's the tea on what's the tea? Give me the breakdown. How was it changed? I heard that there were some changes to it.
So basically, What's the Tea is a competition dance we competed last year, and it won at like literally every competition we went to. So this year, since we went to nationals, Ms. Hammer was like, "Oh, I think we should compete What's the Tea at Showstoppers Nationals." So we competed What's the Tea for nationals. We changed the choreography just a little bit, just to like update it some more and give it like more of like a challenge, I guess, because like we've been competing that dance since last season, so up the skills a little bit more to give us new choreography.
All right, and then how did y'all feel about that, Bella?
I feel like the changes that were made were good for us. It definitely, like she said, gave it some updates and basically accommodated everyone that was in the dance because not the same people were in it originally. So just moving around certain spots and adding people to parts was definitely helpful.
Okay. And then for Chloe, just your perspective of it, do you think that the crowd and the judges received it pretty well?
I think they did because I did the dance last year. I was a part of the original cast. And like seeing the way they changed everything to make it better, I think that definitely helped the judges more see what it was about.
Okay, so there were two dances that made it to the final round or to finals. What do y'all think about that? Tongues and the heel. Can you tell us like maybe why it was added? And
I feel like the reason why, I think I said this before, but for tongues, obviously I knew it was gonna qualify because, like I said, elite, the way they showcase their skill and showcase their passion and their dedication to this dance, it was no surprise that the tongues got added to the finals. And even for the heel, even though it was like a hip hop, you could still tell that like they love the dance. And it doesn't matter hip hop, modern, jazz, lyrical, what they showcase on the stage, it can let the judges know that they take this very serious and they're very passionate about what they do.
Okay. Now, Chloe, you were added to that dance. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So I was added into tongues last second. I think they needed 10 people on stage.
Yes.
They needed 10 people on stage, and one of our girls had to leave, or she wasn't there, and then Bella had to leave, I do believe. So I had to step in. I haven't danced in about a year, so I couldn't do as much as they did, but I was able to walk across the stage and help them win that third place.
It was the second.
Second. And it was fun being on stage because I definitely missed it, and that was always like one of my favorite things about competing was being on stage and like being able to do that one last time for real. It was it was nice.
Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about when you're at the competition, like the showmanship with the other dance groups there. What is it like backstage?
Being backstage in competition, I guess it really just depends on what studio is backstage. Because some of them they'll clap for you, they'll say good job, and then there's those other studios that they'll just give you side eyes. Like you'll feel like you did good, and then you just come off stage and you see them looking at you like. But being with the 777 people, we're always going to be supportive of everybody. We're going to say good job, good luck. Yeah. We're going to point out different points that people did on stage that we really liked. Like, oh, that part was good. I like that they did that. We're always hyping people up. And like being backstage with them, helping them do that, it was yeah.
All right. Well, you guys did an amazing job this season. I loved every moment of it. And we are going to come back and we're going to talk with the boys because they had some pretty big moments with some of their choreography this season as well. So stay tuned to hear from them. All right, welcome back to the rap show here. We have aside from me, an all-male group here going on. These are the boys who kind of boys and men who held it together, held it down, should I say. I'm gonna start with Callan over here, Josh, we have Christian and Kyler. How are y'all doing?
Good.
All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into this. I've been waiting for this specific interview. I have some good questions for you guys. I'm gonna start with you. Xavier is not here. However, he did mention on the show about the importance of Black male dancers for young, and really honestly probably everyone, but specifically young Black male dancers. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? How important is it to have that Black male representation?
It's dominantly important. You don't, I think I said this before, you go to what you can see or you can envision. So without that, that representation, you don't kind of see where your horizons could be or where someone who looks like you could be like you has already been, and if you could go past their route or another route similar.
Okay. Now, did you have any examples of that when you were growing up?
Yes. My first dance teacher, God bless him, he passed away, but he was an all male, 6'2", huge male, and I'm looking at him keeping up with me, with the other women. His extensions are better. All of those things are something that I had to push for when you're standing next to someone that's statuesque. You kind of have no choice, and if they're doing it, you got to do it too.
Okay. All right, and I wanted to ask from y'all's perspective as, I guess, students, what does it mean to you to have a Black male teacher or teachers in the studio or in the 777 company?
I feel like having a male teacher in like a primarily like female-based studio, I feel like it's very important and good for us to actually like look at this male teacher or like have this kind of role model / example of like what you can be in dance as a male and how strong you have to be, how confident you have to be, and how to work as a male dancer rather than how to work as a female dancer.
Yeah. How is it different working with a male teacher?
The difference is strength.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest difference is strength. Male dancers, when you see them jump, you see them turn, their presence when they get on that stage, it's just you have to be very strong with almost everything you do. Lifting, partnering, turning, jumping. It's not really about like how flexible you are, how fluid your body can move. A lot of these dances you see now, or that you can go to the theaters and see, they're strong. That's primarily what you see when it comes to male dancers, and that's like the biggest difference that I can see when it comes to male and female dancers.
Yeah, okay. Now, we all talked earlier about sort of the, I guess, favoritism or maybe some, little perks that come with being a male dancer in a predominantly female, area. So what do you think about that?
There are perks, but they're earned perks, I think, in my opinion. I feel like, with having to be the one who has to jump outside of the building or lift up women left and right or catch bodies all the time, the perks are there's not a large amount of dancers who can do that. Yeah. So when you walk in the room as a male with 40, 50, women in that same concept, I'm able to stand out a little bit better.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask the boys, y'all formed what Tamara's calling the Technical Temptations, the boy band, this season. Tell me about that experience. What was it like?
I don't know. It just felt like a strong team. It felt like we were like when we go to competitions, it's like when people see trios, it's usually like all females. Sometimes it's 2 females and 1 male. Sometimes 2 males and then 1 female. But it was like a monumental moment how all 3 of us came together and it was an all-male trio, because you really don't see that on stage a lot. Most of the time you don't even see it in our skin color, so it was like a big change.
I think the larger part was watching them be very strong in their dancing and in their technique, and then seeing 3 men on stage or young men on stage executing, almost excellently in the judges' eyes, and that's rare in itself, like you said. Yeah. So they weren't just 3 dancers who looked bad. They were 3 dancers who were phenomenally killing it.
Yes. And I wanted to ask you, what was it like to work with Ezra, who did the choreography for that?
It was good. He asked us what was our specialty, so he put it in the dance.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of elaborate on that. He basically asked, like what Kyler said, asked all 3 of us, like, what are your specialties? Are you more of a turner? You like to jump? Are you flexible? Or are you a bit of both? Or you all, basically? And he took our ideas and he just made it into reality almost. He put what we're good at and what we can show the judges that we're good at. Like, hey, we're here too. We're not just hip hop boys, and we're not gonna come out there and do a hip hop number. We can turn, we can jump, we can be flexible and flip. And I feel like Ezra really executed that in our trio, and he just executed that as a male teacher / role model.
Yeah. How did the other dancers, I guess the female dancers, and I guess the crowd members, what was the reaction to them seeing you guys perform?
I heard most of them like teared up in the audience.
They were mostly like, what Josh said, tearing up. My mom cried when she saw the first time with the trio. And it's just like, I don't know, we give off a certain presence of like, oh my God, 3 dudes and they're good and they're black. Wow, look at that. Look at them go. Look how high they can jump. It's just very shocking, very like a proud moment, monumental moment for just male dancers across dance in general.
So we talked about how in the dance world there are some perks, that are earned perks or whatever. Outside of dance, like your peers at school, do you feel that maybe dance is, I guess, becoming a little more common or more acceptable with other guys in your age group, your peers?
No.
No.
Especially in my school. Okay. My school is basically focused on football, baseball, basketball, and so when I tell people that, like, what sport do you play? Or you do track. I'm like, no, I actually dance. They're like, you dance? You dance? I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's not really common. There's not really a lot of boys that really do it, and if they do it, they just do hip hop, like how I started out. They do b-boy style break dance, and more of what males are capable or used to doing. They don't do other styles of dance. It's not really that common when it comes to boys doing it.
Do you think that more, I guess, guys would be interested if they were able to just, see how good y'all are? I mean, it's really nice to watch. But I guess to see how brave you are too. Do you think that would inspire, or that will inspire other boys who may be interested, but maybe they're afraid to step outside of their box because of maybe what other people might think, but you know?
I do feel like it might be more inspirational if it was like more common around.
Okay.
But speaking of like where we are right now, I did used to go to an art school when I was like in middle school, elementary school. And when I hit the stage, like, not to like boost my ego up, but like, it's just like more males started coming up saying, oh, you gotta teach me how to do that, and how do I do this, and how do I do that, like basically tuning more into like dance. And it was kind of like inspirational for me because, you know, when I want to grow up, I want to be like a, you know, an instructor and a teacher and like that, a choreographer. And it was like, for me, in my eyes, when I like heard and seen and noticed like all of those males coming up to me saying all of that, I was like, oh, I didn't think y'all would be like very interested in this. And yeah.
Okay.
I think it hasn't changed either, you know. You know, from when I was in school as well, it was almost unheard of to go see a male and, you know, for lack of anything, you know, just a masculine male still want to dance, still have that flexibility, and then not be perceived as a woman in any form or fashion on stage. I think once you get that representation, even on their level, you know, in school, it opens up more eyes to students to be like, you know, I can do this comfortably.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see that changing in the future? Like, do you think that's a real possibility?
Yeah. I think over years I've been able to see so many more male dancers, whether they're comfortable with hip hop or, you know, trying to get in contemporary or ballet, jazz. I'm seeing more acceptance of them being who they are and not caring about whether the bullying is going to happen or whether I'll even give another one that, you know, women will look at me as if I'm less of a man because I decided to want to dance versus, you know, I was a football player, I was a college football player too. So those two representations always look different in the eyes of others. Yeah.
Do y'all feel that from other, I guess, girls your age?
Yeah.
Like a judgment maybe?
Because anytime when I tell people that I dance, especially like females, they always say like, oh, so you're gay, or oh, you go this way, and I'm just like, no, I still like girls. I just dance. I just dance.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why a lot of males choose like the more dominant male sports, football, because, you know, girls tend to go over that side and look for football players, look for this. They don't really think that a straight male can do dance and still be a man. That's why I feel like a lot of people are still like closed-minded or just shy to step out.
I've also learned it's the style too.
Yeah.
Like, if you catch me in tights versus if you catch me in the hip hop attire, it's two different worlds.
All right, so I wanted to ask y'all, do you think that you feel more pressure or less pressure than what the female dancers do?
Yeah,
more?
Definitely more.
Why is that?
Because strength. Like I said, it was all strength. So it was like, you're a male, so like your head should be above the mirror when you do these jumps. It's just a lot of strength-based things that they expect a male to do. You have to lift this girl this high, you have to jump this high, you have to turn this many times. So it's just, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the earned perks that we were talking about. At the end of the day, there is a lot more requirement on us. I'm not going to say than women because, you know, they're required to be as flexible as we're required to be as strong. And flexible and strong at the same time. So, you know, the pressure is if I'm the only male in the room, I'm expected to keep up with their flexibility as well as keep up with my masculinity as well as keep up with them in general because a lot of them just naturally move the way they move.
Okay. One more thing I wanted to ask you guys about was, I know a lot of females, or as a woman dancer or a girl dancer, there's a lot of body image issues that go along with that. Is that something that male dancers run across, or does it, what kind of body type does, you know, do they put pressure on you for that?
I'll say growing up, no. They require you to have a masculine figure, and that's projected by whoever the director is. So, you know, if I look too chubby, I could not give off the masculine male presentation they want for their piece. But if I'm too small, I could give off little boy, you know. And I learned over time that I have to kind of sculpt my body physically to make sure that I'm ready for castings if they're asking me for being a masculine male or partnering with a woman or having the image of a father or a boyfriend or something like that. So if I'm looking a little dweeby, you know, it's hard for me to get into those doors a little bit faster.
Building on what Mr. Callan has said, I think it's just a whole like shaping your body to almost have like a tonish look. Cause I work out from time to time. I don't go to the gym. I do like home workouts, which is regular push-ups. I have like a 20-pound metal dumbbell that I lift sometimes just to keep, you know, just to keep myself in shape. So I have to, so like when I lift these girls, I'm not shaking or struggling. Because when I first started out, I was struggling a little bit to pick them up. I threw up my back a couple of times because I just wasn't in that physique to do that. But it's like kind of a balance, not being too skinny, not being too overweight, just kind of slim tone somewhere in the middle so you can like keep up.
I've also seen bigger dancers than me. Like I've seen bigger dancers get down with me in the same room and keep up the same speed and still get castings as well. I think it boils back down to what is the producer or director's vision at the end of the day.
All right, well, we have enjoyed our time today, guys. This is a wrap up of the StudioTypes Season 3 Rap Show. Thank you for watching.
Next time on StudioTypes, Raising the Bar.
That gotta be baby.
VIP. Stretching early morning, this hard work isn't foreign. Natties and scholarships, ain't nothing else important. Passion to be the best, dance I'm not on the wrist. Passe, stay high and tight, Miss T, don't play that mess up. Gotta prove your worth in class to be center stage. I put in time on these fortes and I'm mid-May. Stay on point in every style, let me demonstrate. Second to none, and I put that on the quasi. I gotta give it my all. I wanna be responsible for one of the plaques on the wall. One trophy ain't enough, need my name engraved on the mall. Nothing's out of my reach. Miss T lace me with this pour the bra. Strong core on point, but I never fall. Shall say to the phone whenever destiny calls. Cause I wanna be the GO. So if they on stage or in class, the mission's no nose up. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming them for Mars. So at minimum, we landing on the stars. Yesterday's limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming them for Mars. So at minimum, we landed on the stars. Yesterday's limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. Dream is a dream, work the hamstring. Solo at national, my team can trust me. Every day, trying to level up the repertoire. So every class, you know that we gotta raise the bar. Being prime is the dream, work the hamstring. Solo at national, my team can trust me. Every day, trying to level up the repertoire. So every class, you know that